Hi, and welcome to your reading for September 16th through the 22nd. We're on this channel. I really want to look more at the astrology of the moon. If you're more interested in tarot, that will be going on my other channel that you might know me from, Moon Directed Tarot. But here at Moon Directed Life, I really want to look at what's going on with the energy for the week. So if you stay tuned, at the end I will pull a trinket for each sign of the zodiac to help you navigate the energy of this week, which has an eclipse in it. So we are into eclipse season. This is a big deal. There's no denying that this is a big deal. So this eclipse was a new moon. So every full moon was once upon a time a new moon, and this was a new moon on March 13th of 2021. So think back to what was going on in your life then, so that you can understand what was happening in your life. What were you putting your hopes and your dreams into? 2021 was definitely an interesting year, right? We were like navigating our way through into our new normal, right? And so we were looking for answers. What was really interesting about that was that some of the placements of things are very similar. Pluto was in Capricorn, and Pluto is in Capricorn again, and so this is this earthy energy of trying to ground an idea, to bring something into fruition that was very transformative in your life, and then manifesting it in a very physical way. So we're in Virgo season, and Virgo season is about your health and your wealth, right? And it's in the body, and it's very physical activity. It's also the energy around nurturing something, growing something. So we planted the seed back in March 13th of 2021, and now we're going to do some harvesting of it. We're going to, some of it is fruited into fullness, and some of it is about cutting away, releasing, letting go, allowing for something new to come in. Vesta is an asteroid, and Vesta was at within 2 degrees of where she was at the planting of the new moon. She is now 2 degrees further. So she has gone all the way around and cycled back, and she has grown with the moon. The moon, when it was planted as a seed, was 2 degrees difference, and now it's 2 degrees forward. And so there is this manifesting around home and hearth, and Vesta was always in a temple that was circular. She had the circular temple with the fire in the center, and it was about keeping literally the home fires burning. It was about protection. It was about self-knowing, self-value, self-worth, the ability to set your own limits and your own boundaries. And so this is all the stuff that's in play right now with this full moon. It's a very opportune time to really decide and discern who you are and what your values are, and release and let go of. It's about clearing space for what's new and what's next in your life. We're in eclipse season, and the next eclipse is in 2 weeks, and that'll be a new moon eclipse, and that's about starting something with a lot of oomph to it, right? Something that really gives us more energy. And so this is the energy that we find ourselves in right now. So overall energy for the week, we have the Sage. Be devoted, be committed. When I was in my pre-meditation for this reading, committed came up, devoted came up, and I'm not surprised to see them here. And the Sage is kind of the wisdom of the hermit, right? That Virgo season, like we have figured something out. We've learned something about ourselves, and what do we do with that information, right? How do we take what we've learned and apply that knowledge to new opportunities? What have we learned about what we don't need anymore, what we're going to clear out of our life in order to bring something new in? It's a really great opportunity. And so that is our overall energy here, is this card of the Sage, this wisdom, this knowledge, but it's the wisdom from within. And it's the wisdom, look how grounded it is. It's sitting on the ground. This is the wisdom of becoming very grounded in what it is that you know. So we're going to take a look at each of the each of the days of the week and pull cards for them. So what I really love, okay, we start with that moon in Pisces. It gets into Pisces really early on the day. All times are Eastern time zone in the U.S., okay, so that you'll have to, figure out what it is for you. But here at 5:36 in the morning, the moon gets into Pisces, and this sets us up for this week. really organizing for change. I'll tell you what they showed me. It was really cool. We were standing under a lamppost. We were standing under a lamppost, old-fashioned lamppost on a cobble street. And so there was this halo of light, right, around where we were standing. And there was the street stretching out in either direction. But you really can't see it. It was really dark, right? When you're standing under a lamppost, you really can't see too far, particularly if you're like me and you're night blind, right? And so you really can't see, you know, kind of that you have two options. You can go this way or that way. You can't stand under there forever, right? And so the question becomes, which direction do you want to go in? And it's about taking a leap of faith, about blindly going toward your destination with a general idea of where you're going, but not really knowing what you're going to encounter on the path to get there. And that's the energy of this full moon. And so with that in mind, we start on Monday with that moon in Pisces, so it's setting us up. It's already got us feeling it. It's already got us thinking it. And this whole week is about being willing to be of faith. Pisces is the 12th sign, and that's the spirit house, and that's the faith. And so, but we have the sun shining on us. And so when the sun and the moon oppose one another, that's when you get the full moon, right? And so the sun in Virgo is really important. This is grounding this energy. This is like really bringing it in. And it says enjoy success and happiness. And at a full moon, you should look back and say, what have I accomplished? Give yourself credit. What have I accomplished? Where have I grown? What is the knowledge? What is the wisdom? What have I gathered from here? And where am I going, right? So what do I need to release and let go of? But first, what have I got? So these were some really hard lessons. I have to tell you, I started to do this video and I didn't like the tarot deck and I changed it. It was not feeling right in my hands. So, but what's interesting is when I started pulling the card, we also got the Three of Swords in that. So this full moon is about healing. It is about forgiveness. This is where we're going to release and let go of. It's creating the inner peace through the forgiveness of past transgressions. And so the sun shining, right? We've got the sun shining after this really dark time. So was everything easy? No. No, right? I mean, look at the world. We all know it wasn't easy. 2021 to get to here, the past 3.5 years have been, you know, full of learning and growth and opportunity that has come through difficulties and challenges, right? And so this Three of Swords is about understanding that after the dark night, the sun is shining. We have come to a completion of a cycle, right? And the sun is shining. The knowledge and the wisdom, you see your journal here? The knowledge and the wisdom, the things that you have learned that have helped you to grow, those are important. But cutting out the anger, the resentment, the hurt by releasing it and allowing it to become love. Releasing it into the power of love to allow you to move forward in a new direction. So, for Tuesday, the day of the eclipse, you know, this is about creating space for your new dreams to come true. We have the bunny rabbit, spring, right? This thing was born in the spring, right? March is the springtime here in the northern hemisphere. But those of you in the southern hemisphere, this is interesting because it is your spring. But this is about the growth and the leaping forward. And as I said, they said to move off in a new direction, to trust that the space you have cleared, and to take a leap. Look at that bunny rabbit, he's leaping, a leap of faith into the direction that you want to go without actually knowing what all you're going to see. And so it is a completion of a cycle so that you create space for a beginning of a new cycle. So it says see your seeds grow. So Pluto is interesting because Pluto is about the seeds and it's in an earth sign. Pluto rules Scorpio season here in the northern hemisphere. And that is when we plant bulbs in the fall to become spring, to become flowers in the spring, right? They're the first things that show up. And so it's almost like planting seeds and trusting and letting go and trusting that over the winter when you aren't even doing anything, right? You're putting them in the ground and you're not going to do anything. And you're just going to allow the seed to do its thing. In the darkness, under the cover of snow of the winter, and just trust that at the appointed time, it will grow. And so when you're clearing the space this week and you're creating opportunity for something new to grow, it's like clearing out the flower bed at the end of the season and planting your bulbs and bedding them down well and knowing that you've cleared space, right? You have to clear they got to have some place to come up, right? But they have to be bedded into like mulch or something that it's easy for them to push through, but not over sticks or rocks, right? That makes it harder. So you want to provide a fertile ground for these things to grow. But, allowing this to happen and seeing the opportunity. All right, so coming with this, we've got the Sun again. And we've got another difficult card with the Eight of Swords. But if you look, you can see the sun shining on her. She, of course, is not stuck. This is all the thoughts that spin around and around in your head. And this is your chance to clear space, to clear the mental chatter that you're not good enough, you didn't do a good job, whatever, right? And instead, understand that there are cycles to everything and things will come forward. And so this is about allowing yourself the space to grow, right? To clear things out. You will notice that her hands are tied in front of her, right? Not even behind her. And she has the blindfold there. And everything she needs to move forward. Her broom, her hat, like all of her magic is right there. Her cat is right there trying to tip over one of the swords for her. All she has to do when your hands are in front of you and you're blindfolded is to push the blindfold off. And if she did that, she could see to put her hand around the sword and cut herself free, step out of the circle of swords, out of the thoughts, and let herself go forward to fly free. And so this is a major leap of faith, but all the tools you need to get there are there. All the opportunity is right there in front of you. You're not stuck. And so this forgiveness of whatever it was that hurt you is really important, and it's really showing up here. On Wednesday morning, at 5:24 a.m. Eastern Time Zone in the U.S., the moon moves into Aries. It changes its energy big time. It's the start. It's the new beginning, right? The 12th sign, Pisces, is the end of the zodiac. Aries is the beginning. And here we have Mother Medicine to honor your new, your inner knowing, right? The lessons you have learned, honor that. The sage, right? So we have this all about the information that we've gained. Oh my gosh, I just noticed something. So when I was doing the pre-meditation, who showed up for it was Hera, which is about committing to the change, committing to a path, commitment to yourself and to your future. It was Vesta, the home and the hearth showed up. Aphrodite showed up. The self-love, the self-knowledge, the self-worth aspects of your life. These are the areas that you should have grown in. And oh, I'm sure it'll pop up who else came. But I just noticed that the sage is taking notes, but he's using the peacock feather of Hera, right? And so here it is, this mother, this energy of Hera showing up here again, all of this wisdom, all of this knowledge coming forward. I have to know who it was. Hold on. I'm going to check my notes. Be right back. Okay, it was Basset, who is about knowing when to leap forward. It's kind of like this black cat here, but it's also about balancing work and play, health and wealth. Again, Virgo season. All right, so here we go. We've got honor your inner knowing with this Mother Medicine on Wednesday. So we have this crescent, this disseminating new full moon. It's the waning gibbous. It's the It's the taking the knowledge, recognizing your past accomplishments, right? You're honoring your inner knowing, standing on your strength and your reputation, and to develop your ideas and to see what you've already created. And we get the King of Pentacles. Perfect, right? It's such perfect energy for this. This is about recognizing what you have accomplished. Give yourself the pat on your back. Go ahead and stretch around there and pat yourself on the back for the things that you have learned. It is super important that you do this. We also have to take note of intuitive messages coming through on Thursday. Well, this moon is still in Aries. And Aries that day, on Thursday, we have the sun trining Uranus in Taurus, which means there will be sudden downloads and insights coming in. Now, Taurus is where the moon is exalted. And so we have this trine between the sun and this exaltation of the moon in the moon energy. That knowledge and the wisdom take note of intuitive messages, right? And so there's also something about the cyclical nature of things, understanding what you're learning and growing and how things are moving. So we get the star, which I feel is a Pisces card. Okay, I know not everybody agrees with that, but I think it's healing energy for the universal collective healing, which would be Pisces energy. And so we have the star, and we have the Page of Swords. Lots of swords up in our head, way too much. There's a need to get out of our heads and into our hearts this week to help move this energy through. The moon is of the body. The moon represents the energy of the body. So this is intuitively knowing things, having things come through that way. There's almost like this energy of taking something apart on purpose. Okay, so when I lived in Orlando back in the 80s, they were doing a movie, and at night they had a scheduled demolition of a building that was in this movie. Mel Gibson was in the movie. I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, so they took this building and they imploded it, right? Because Uranus is in retrograde. And that is when we choose to take something apart. Right? Uranus is the tower moment. It's the tower card in the tarot. It's the taking something down. But doing it, creating this quote-unquote chaos with a plan. So when things come down in your life and Uranus is moving forward, a lot of times we are not the ones that make the decision to tear it apart. Right? That's like, it's time. It's just going to happen. The universe creates the opportunity for this big change in our lives. But when Uranus is in retrograde, then that is usually because we choose to take down the structures of something. And so it just like collapses onto itself, but it's controlled, and we did it on purpose. We chose to do something. In this trine between Virgo, which is about nurturing and growing things, and all this is happening, this is about having a new idea, Page of Swords. Right? And the willingness to learn. I love it. He's got his books open there. Right? This willingness to learn. And this understanding of the healing energy of as above, so below. And so I'm going to bring down something because I've learned something over the course of the last 3.5 years. I've learned something important. And now I want to build something new. I want to build something new, a new structure in my life, right? It's the creating of space for something new to come in. And sometimes space is pretty cramped, right? And so in the middle of a city, they just take something down and put something right back in its place. They do it in Vegas all the time, right? They take down old casinos and then something new sprouts up in the exact same place. And so that is a thing. So here we go. The moon's going to move into Taurus. It gets there on Friday morning, again, bright and early in the morning, 4:39 a.m. This is still, we're still in this this waning gibbous energy. Make careful use of your resources. Right? When the moon is in Taurus, they want you to use your resources wisely. But set your gaze higher. Set your gaze higher. So where do you want to take yourself? Where do you want to move forward in things? Like what is the next step? What is the big opportunity? Where are you going to go from here, right? And so with that, we've got the Five of Cups and the Seven of Cups. Okay, so the Five of Cups is interesting because she's got the 2 cups still on the table with the whole buffet or banquet laid out there, right? But she's mourning the loss of the 3. After a full moon, especially a day or 2 after the full moon, and if it being an eclipse, our energy kind of drops. So this is not totally unexpected, but you have 2 cups here and all this opportunity. So wise use of your resources? Why are you worried about the spilled milk when you've got all this going on up here, right? And so with the Seven of Cups, though, wise use of your resources. Seven of Cups is to choose wisely from the options. So she's got this whole buffet up here, right? And this looks like a buffet of choices, right? Heart, though. Seven of Cups, Five of Cups. You're going to choose from the heart and use your resources wisely. And this time, aim higher, right? We're supposed to spiral up as we progress through life. And so choosing wisely from the knowledge and the wisdom we've gained over the last 3.5 years. This is more of that. Because on Saturday, we still have the moon in Taurus. We've got the fox spirit. Trust your talents in changing times. This is strategy. This is cleverness. This is understanding yourself and others around you. Oh my gosh. I was going to say this is Seven of Swords energy. I really wish I would have. Because here it is, Seven of Swords. This is choosing and strategy. To me, the Seven of Swords is the strategic card. This is, finding a better way, finding a new way, understanding that you can do things differently. That energy of that sun trining Uranus, even though it's not exact today, they're holding that energy. They're holding that energy all week. Within 10 degrees, they hold that energy. So we've been building toward this, and now we're moving away. But now we're really in the strategy part, right? It's just 2 days away from there. And so this fox spirit of choosing carefully, right? So she's looking at all of the different weapons and opportunities and the different things you can use. You might be up in your head a lot this week, right? You might be up in your head a lot when I look at these cards, all these swords showing up. Swords have shown up on nearly every day. So using this energy to propel yourself forward, today it's about being practical. A fox is very practical in its approach. It's strategy and it's practical, right? If I do this, this will work. Sometimes it's a little trial and error, but it's always thinking it through and working with it. And today we have the sun trining Pluto. And so Pluto, again, is up in Capricorn. And this is really practical about the way that you're going to go about transforming your life. So be practical, be thoughtful, right? Mercury rules Virgo. And Mercury's direct now and out of shadow, and so it's clicking along. And so that energy is also helping you to create the strategy to organize things in a very practical manner. On Sunday morning, the moon is going to move in, at 8:44 a.m. the moon moves into Libra. So there's a lot of energy in the overnight hours. We move into the equinox, right? The equinox is at 8:43 a.m. and then the sun changes signs into Libra and it's at 8:44 a.m., right? And the moon moves into Gemini at 6:24 a.m. I don't know what time I said. I think I picked the wrong one. Okay, so today we have Venus moving into Scorpio at the end of the day, but she is still at home. She's still in her domicile, and she says, yo, son, welcome home. Welcome to my home. So there's this energy here about understanding what you're going to do. And now once Venus moves into Scorpio, her energy shifts. She doesn't like being in Scorpio, but we'll talk more about that tomorrow. This says, though, unleash the wild within. Unleash the wild within. The moon in Gemini is curious. The moon in Gemini wants to explore. The moon in Gemini is very supported by what's going on with Mercury being direct. We've got the Six of Wands, which is victory. It's being recognized and it's being celebrated. It doesn't necessarily look like after a battle in this case. And I gotta say, it looks as though very, very much like this Libra energy of people are giving her flowers, but it looks like she's giving them away too, keeping everything in balance. And then with this Ace of Cups, she's filling up her own cup. Why? Because one of the things that we've learned over the last 3.5 years, Aphrodite, is self-love is where we create the love that we have to give in a relationship, right? The sun moving into Libra is bringing relationships into focus. And there's this balancing act. And so it's almost like understanding that in order to give to others, we have to give enough to ourselves. And so her cup is overflowing. She understands that she is manifesting that emotional overflow from within so that she can send it out into the world. So, all right, let's pull trinkets for each of the signs. Lots of transformative energy this week. And intuition coming through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. Okay, here we go. Aries, you've got the snake. Shedding the old to create the new. This is also about wisdom, right? The snake in the Garden of Eden. This is knowledge, this is healing. You have Chiron in your sign. This is a lot of healing energy. The sun at the end of the week moving into and preparing for an eclipse, opposing your sign in this partnership and this balance. This is about what you have learned and how you create balance between the me and the we is really coming into focus. For you, Taurus, you have the turtle, the tortoise, right? This is swimming though. This guy's in motion. He's swimming. He's not walking on the land. And even though you're very much of an earth sign, but this is the energy of creation and of the Empress. This is the energy of being in flow with the energy around you. And I think that when you get to that sun trine Uranus, once that moon gets into your sign, I think a lot of things come very clear. They're showing me, if you ever saw Finding Nemo, where they all get into that current around Australia. I can't think of the name of it right now. Anyway, you just have to get into the current and it will take you forward. So there's something about really very much being in flow. So then we have a dragonfly, a huge dragonfly showing up for Gemini. Gemini, this is spiritual transformation. So this eclipse squares your sign, and this creates a chance for you to really assess the situation, to really feel it, right? Both, it's like a T-square. So the outlet point is definitely between the sun and the moon, is in your sign, right there around Jupiter in your sign. And so no wonder this is such a big one, dragonfly here, right? This is a chance for you to really expand your spiritual wisdom and knowledge. Feels very healing and it feels very transformative. So for me, butterflies are transforming things in the 3D world, but dragonflies, that's spiritual growth and development. Cancer, you have a very intuitive hit coming through this week with the bat. This is about really listening to your intuition. We had the moon is highlighted, right? And it trines your sign. And we had the moon show up here over there on, what was that, Thursday? When we have that sun trining Uranus in Taurus, where the moon is exalted, your ruling sign. And so I think your intuition is going to be very heightened, lots of opportunities for things to come through. So one of 3 butterflies coming through. Leo, you get a butterfly. You get a butterfly of transformation. This is transforming things in the 3D. So this is physical. So this is health, wealth, right? These are those kinds of things are, there's a release and a letting go, right? You're out of the cocoon and you're moving forward. Virgo, you get the star. But not only do you get the star with the spiral inside. You are spiraling up. You are on fire and you are shining out there. And this is a really beautiful energy. Feels very, that star is filled with spirals. So this is a lot of leveling up that's going on for you this week with that eclipse happening in your sun sign season. And then Libra, you also have a butterfly. So you are also going to be seeing changes around areas of health and wealth in your life, transforming some situation that you have been working on for the past 3.5 years. Scorpio, you have a major league butterfly. This is so much bigger than the other two butterflies, and I feel like that has a lot to do with the big transformation that you've personally been going through over this period of time. It's been a very big shift for you because the North Node, so the South Node moved into your sign not long after that full moon, that new moon was planted, and so you have gone through that time, and there's been the whole, we're shifting nodes again, and so you've gone through the integration, and this is a big spreading of the wings and being able to get out there. Sagittarius, you have this very Merkaba transformative star. This feels like the galactic center and connecting in with the astral realms coming through for you. There is something very spiritual, and of course Jupiter opposing your sign. So again, you're also receiving that T-square from the sun and moon, and it seems to be, gosh, it is actually, the T-square is outletting right there at the galactic center in your sign. And so, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of spiritual information and guidance coming through, so open yourself up to the knowing. We have communication for Capricorn. We've got the little bird here. I feel like it's the bluebird of happiness, but more than that, it feels very much like a lot of communication is being opened up. And so some of this is something really important. Either you're communicating a lot, look how big that bird is, or you're receiving big communication. So one or the other. For you, Aquarius, you have the spider. This is about you getting out there and creating, right? So Pluto's left your sign, but he'll be back. No worries. He'll be back in just about 6 weeks from now, and when he comes in, he's there to stay for like 2 decades. So this is your chance to kind of decide, while his influence isn't really there, what it is that you want to create, so that when he comes in, that he's helping to transform things that you want to see transformed, right? Your two ruling planets, Saturn, and Saturn's in Pisces, and it's connected to this full moon. And then you've got Uranus doing that trine this week with the sun. And so I think that there's a big creative idea, download, inspiration coming in. So go ahead and start spinning the web, creating the foundation, right? A spider will quite often, after it's captured something, right, after repair, it takes down the web to create something new. So it's wise use of your resources and space, for sure. Pisces, you have a mermaid. That's fun. You have a mermaid. This is about being willing to go deep into, but being in flow with the waters, right? She's not swimming, though. She's just kind of sitting there, paying attention. What has she got in her hand here? She's got a shell in her hand. So this is about listening to your inner guidance and really moving with this energy. This is really a fabulous week. I think it's going to be a lot of changes, right? We've got the sun moving sign, we've got the seasons changing with the equinox, and we've got this eclipse happening, which is also a signal of another change. It is the shot across the bow. The North Node will move into Pisces on January 11th. And so we're starting to get a taste of it. You guys, let me know what you think. Hit subscribe if you want to get these weekly updates on the energy. That's all that's going to be going on this channel for a little while here. And thank you so much for hitting the like button and helping me to get this out there. If you want to know about the daily energy a little more in depth, I do those readings over on Facebook. The link is in the description box below. And if you want the tarot readings where I throw the dice and I pull charms and you get about 10-minute reading, then those are over on Moon Directed Tarot. I'll also put the link in the description box. You guys have a great week, and I'll see you back here next week.